Hey, I wonder if it's possible for a 64-year-old man to learn shred guitar. Well, I'm just doing the warm-up part of this book by Greg Harrison, Shred Guitar from Musicians Institute Master Class, audio access included. He's got some good information about the picking hand and the fret hand, positioning and so forth, tone. I'm going with kind of a distorted tone here. He's got a warm-up here, which is the classic 4-finger, 4-fret business, which not a bad thing to do. So it's written in 3/4 time. Let me just run through the first thing. It's all right. Well, I guess I can do that. I could probably keep going. Now he gets into a 3-note per string patterns, several patterns. This could be C major or A minor. So these are pretty fun. So this is a C major pattern starting at the 1st fret. Then we're going to go to 3rd fret, 5th fret, 7th fret, 8th fret, 10th fret, and 12th fret, which will be, I call it a mirror image of the first pattern. So these are enjoyable. These are written, this is in 3/4 time, written in sextuplet 16th notes. But I'm not going to kill myself here. I'm just going to kind of get familiar with it. There's the first one. Then ends on C. That's got to be good, right? Ends on D. That's fine. Now, I do know this, but I'm trying to read it. There's the fabulous E major 3rd. Then we start on our C note. To the F. Then we start on a D. What am I doing here? That seemed weird to start on the 12th fret of the 2nd string at that point. I paused. But yeah, this is the kind of thing I like to play when I'm just sitting on the couch, but reading it is kind of slowing me down. Well, at least I didn't miss any notes. So, when you're filming yourself for an audience, it's kind of intimidating. But yeah, I'll keep. That's the thing. I like to just sit back and play and just sort of daydream. And I like the next part because we're gonna shift patterns. We're gonna combine patterns. So that's, when I do C major, I do something like. You shift whenever, when you're just going to combine patterns. So let's see how he does it here in the book. Okay, so the shift, I'll do it kind of slow, and we'll just watch the shift happen. There it was. From 7 to 8, your hand moves up. that is a really cool pattern, the 3-5-7. All right, so that's just the warm-up part. Now, on the second chapter on page 11, we have practice techniques for speed. Looks like we're going to do something like, he wants you to grab a note, hammer on from, how does he say? From mid-air. I like that. Hammer on from mid-air. So it's going to be... All right, I like that. That's a kind of a legato technique. And then he wants us to work on our picking. With alternate picking, just going like... And then combine that right hand or left hand exercise with the picking. How's that gonna go? So I think I've increased my picking speed since I've taken lessons with Serge. He kind of demonstrated just like really a super aggressive right hand picking. I'm like, it kind of like, oh, I can do that, and then I followed along. So sometimes having a teacher play a little something for you, and then you can try to mimic it is kind of fun. So let's see if I can do that. So I'm doing the with the, all right, so maybe we could do the scale like that, like, maybe. So I just sort of improvised or expanded on what he's doing, but I looked ahead a little bit, and there's more patterns like that. I realize could be boring for you to watch, but maybe consider getting this book if you. I think it looks pretty good. I mean, I do look at a lot of books, and some of them are good and some of them are mediocre, and some I'm just, it's hard to get interested and maintain interest in a book. I am quite curious about where I'm going to end up with this. So maybe we'll try a couple more. This one's in 2/4. This is 8-7-5-8-7-5-8-7-5-8-7-5. Oh, that's a... I'm changing it again. All right. Well, that's pretty neat. If you start the lick with a downstroke, okay, so now this is 3 notes per string. If you start the lick with a downstroke, the highest note will be plucked with an upstroke. Down, up. Oh boy, what? Down, up. Wait. Down, up, down, up, down, up. Is that right? If you start the lick with a downstroke, the highest note will be plucked with an upstroke. What? I don't understand that. I'm going to have to read that a few times. I don't get it. Well, let's just do a couple more. Here's 8, 7, 8, 5. That's kind of weird. Wow, that's kind of, I don't think I've really stumbled across that a lot in my decades of noodling. Okay, here's 5, 8, 7, 8, 5, 8, 7, 8. Whoa. Oh, I'm getting tired. 5, 8, 7, 8. And here's 8, 5, 7, 8. 8, 5, wait, 8, 5, 7, 8. Wait a minute. No, these are 8, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. Okay. 8, 5, 7, 8, 7, 5. 8, 5, 7, 8, 7. Well, yeah. Gives me something to work on. All right. Well, there's a couple more in this little section, and I'll try to stop. Here's 7, 8, 7, 5. Man, how do you tell? Aren't they all the same? 7, 8, 7, 5. That's pretty cool. All right. That's fun. Yeah, I can't wait to hear these audio examples. I hope they don't bury me and make me feel horrible. Here's 5, 7, 8, the last one. This looks like 4/4 time. There's 4 groups of 16th notes. 5, 7, 8, 7. 5, 7, 8, 7. So I was pushing myself a little bit there, taking a little risk, see if I can push myself to where it kind of falls apart. Okay, the next thing we're just going to alternate strings a little bit, but I'm just going to be cautious. That looks like it's called outside picking. All right, well, and then there's inside picking. That's one thing I got to say. I'll try to cut it off here in a second, but us old kind of rock and roll blues kind of whatever players, we just like guitar. We don't think about pick direction that much. We just kind of, we're just going to do alternating picking. We just sort of, just sort of do whatever. So this type of instruction is really what I want. I want to learn how to achieve maximum velocity. I need to step it up because these younger players that I see coming up as teenagers, now they're playing gigs and doing jams, and they just blaze, man. They're just so much faster. I don't want to just blaze just to make extra garbage sounds, but I do want to be able to have a section where maybe I can accelerate my picking for a short little bit of a solo and not trip or snag my pick and, completely embarrass myself. I just want to be able to kind of match some of this shredding that I see other people do. That's what I want to do. So if you want to just improve your picking, you might, let's say your skills are way ahead of mine, or maybe you've only been playing a short amount of time. I think this book really makes sense. So as what I've seen, I haven't gone way far ahead. It'd be like a long-term project. So maybe we'll do another video on the next part after I get a chance to practice a little tiny bit, and we'll just kind of get through chapter 2 and see if I start feeling some improvements, and then we'll just see how it goes. So yeah, my initial impression is very good of this. I'll just say the name of the book one more time: Shred Guitar, Musicians Institute Masterclass, A Guide to Extreme Rock and Metal Lead Techniques by Greg Harrison. So I'm just barely getting started, but I'm pretty excited about it. I do have some songwriting I need to take care of, so I better get to that, or some recording and so forth. And plus my garage is a complete disaster, so I should get out and with just a little organizing, we'll be back to a partial disaster. All right, well, have a good day. Thanks for letting me jabber. I'm sorry I go too much, but maybe we can do a video, some more of those no talking videos. All right, let me know what you think. Take care.